Shalom, Hebrews. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Okay, Hebrews, I want to talk about how Edom got the Israelite heritage, through his connection to the Hittites and the Amorite tribes. A lot of Israelites, be thinking that the pure Europeans, the pure no pigmented peoples are the Edomites and stuff. You have a whole lot of Israelites, believing that the Edomites, man, all the Europeans are what they call Caucasians, and then that's wrong, and the majority of them peoples, that live in Europe and so forth, gonna come off Japhet tribes, the Japhet tribes, the Ashkenazi and so forth, but how that Edom, whose heritage was, on the other side of the promised land, in the southern parts, it could be proven that Saudi Arabia and Yemen, that Yemen is Eliphaz's son, and that East Saudi, you know what I'm saying, that those gonna be the real Edomites, you know what I'm saying, and then, Jordan got some Edomite connections too, they Moabites and Edomites too, but how that Edom would basically, you know what I'm saying, lose his pigmentation, when you see them Edomites, the ones that they call, Arabs, but when you see them Edomites, with no pigmentation, is gonna be because long time ago, Edom mixed in with the Hittites. One of Edom's wife, women, two of them were Hittites. So, if the Hittites are non-pigmented peoples and then Edom is kind of red like that, 9 out of 10 Edom kids gonna come out, you know what I'm saying, looking, somewhat like this right here. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be looking like that right there. You know what I'm saying? That's what Edom, that's what Edom really look like. You know what I'm saying? And that how this is not just no, Edom. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the non-pigmented peoples, you know what I'm saying, not to be, down to nobody, because it's just how Almighty Y'all got everything and everybody set up, is that they gonna be coming from Cain descendants. Cain didn't have no pigmentation. Almighty Y'all took his pigmentation as a mark on him, and then he gonna go down in the ground in Turkey, you know what I'm saying, and live in them cities underground, and then they will become the Hittites. There's gonna be a Cain and Nephilim and they descendants. All right, but we're gonna see in the Tanakh how Edom got control of the promised land. Almighty Yah was against many Edomites getting control of the promised land, especially after he done went and made it with the Hittites, and then how our mother Rebecca saved the whole Israelite nation when she told our father Israel, Jacob, to go in there and get the blessings, the firstborn blessings, because if Edom would have got the firstborn blessings, then our heritage would have went immediately to the Hittites and Amorites, and that's what Almighty Yah didn't want. He didn't want that to happen. So, our mother Rebecca saved the Israelite nation when she did the move that she did, when she sent Jacob in there, because not too long before that, how Edom had grieved our mother and father. Grieved our mother and father Isaac, our father and our mother Rebecca, by taking on the Hittite tribes. So, that would grieve them because, why would the firstborn, who the blessings coming from Prophet Abraham all the way down to uh, uh, Isaac, and then his son, you know, would have been Edom, that would have been messed up, Edom, to go into those Hittite tribes and the tribes that Almighty Yah had condemned for the Israelites to destroy because of their evil and wickedness, So it wouldn't have made no sense for Edom to get the blessings, and how our mother, sometimes the father have love for the sons, man, that he be blind and can't see what's going on, but that the mother be having a little more sense. And then that's what happened with our mother Rebecca when she realized that, hey, Edom finna take the blessings in the promise that Almighty Yah made to Abraham over to the Hittites, the people we supposed to destroy, and we supposed to get their land. And here Edom mating with them. You see, so yeah, man, that would grieve our mother. You know what I'm saying? That would grieve our mama, father, as did happen. And then you can read this if you go to Genesis 26. And when you get to Genesis 26, and then you get to verse 34, and it reads, and Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Beshmet, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of man unto Isaac and to Rebekah. Yeah, that's a grief of man to them, because Almighty Yah will give an order for those Hittites to be destroyed. And we was already told not to make no union with the peoples in the land. Our father Abraham knew that, and he knew that he was gonna be blessed with Canaan. I'm sure our father prophet Abraham told his son Isaac, hey man, don't go messing with them folks in the land. That's why come he sent, to get Isaac, men, the Hebrew woman, men from our peoples. And then, that saved him from having to mate with the Canaanite tribes and the peoples we were supposed to destroy. So he was staying in line with Almighty Yah's word. He was staying in line with Almighty Yah's word, Prophet Abraham was. So his son, Prophet Isaac, was going to do the same thing, and how he didn't want his sons to go over into the Canaanite tribes, because he knew that his father, Prophet Abraham, had told him, hey man, don't go into them Canaanite tribes, because Almighty Yah gonna give us this land, and then these peoples got to go, the Canaanite tribes. So he gonna know this. So, he gonna tell his sons, hey y'all, don't y'all go messing with them Canaanite tribes and stuff like that. Don't mix up with them. They real bad and they evil and so forth. And then Edom gonna go take, some of them folks as, women, mates and so forth. And he wasn't supposed to do that. See, and Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Beshmet, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of man unto Isaac and to Rebekah. Yes, so that's going to be mean the grief meant to them. You see what I'm saying? The Edom then went and took, them folks as a mate. And then here goes some images of the Hittites. Yeah, the Hittites, they going to be some non-pigmented peoples. But this the thing, pigmentation don't matter if you worshiping Almighty Yah. See, if you worshiping Almighty Yah, it don't matter your degree of pigmentation. And I guess the peoples that don't have pigmentation have to really prove themselves that they love Almighty Yah, because they coming from a heritage of non-believers and going all the way back to Cain. and so forth. So they would have to really prove that they believed in Almighty Yah, as the Hittite did, that worshiped Almighty Yah, Uri, that worshiped Almighty Yah, that was in King David's army. You see, pigmentation ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? If you worshiping Almighty Yah, and then how that Hittite worshiped Almighty Yah and was fighting for Almighty Yah's cause, and King David, took his woman. But he go to Hittites. Those are the images of the Hittites. So, Edom would mix off with these folks. So, if they some non-pigmented peoples, and then we know that Edom continuously mixed in with them, because we Israelites were against the Edomites, and we ain't gonna mix with them in the biblical days too much, even though Solomon, kind of did, but these are the Hittites right there. Man, look at dude right there. Man, we know that ain't no Israelite right there. The Hittites, live in Turkey. And man, they lived underground. Man, they got underground cities. Man, they had 36 underground cities. I got a video called The Real Meaning of Hell. And man, if they captured you in battle when they was warring against the pigmented peoples, and then they took you underground and you was never seen before, and how they had fires and camps and all kind of stuff. Man, they had air shafts where fire can, breathe and stuff underground. And man, it was like hell. You captured, and then you took it underground, and you never, return up above, and then you just seeing non-pigmented peoples walking around 36 cities with 20,000 people in each city underground. And then them gonna be Cain descendants, man, there's been some history that's been coming out, that showing that that's trying to connect the Mesopotamians' history, God's history, Eniki and Eneli and all them, who's supposed to come from another planet, and then needed some peoples to dig for gold underground, and then how they supposed to have created the non-pigmented peoples, the Caucasian race, and then had them underground as slaves digging for gold and so forth. And that's one of the reasons why they supposed to like gold. Now that's some history that I'm starting to put together a little bit, that's outside biblical history. I hate to go outside to knock history. I hate to go outside meant to knock history, but why I've been dibbling and dabbling into the Babylonian history, because I'm always reading about the ancient empires or ancient groups and tribes that dealt with the Israelites or had any kind of connection to us. But while I was studying the Babylonian gods' history and how they supposed to been then come from another planet, and then needed somebody to dig for some gold and stuff, and how they then it makes sense to have some non-pigmented peoples underground, and how some pigmented peoples that needed sunlight and stuff, that function by the sun, and get sick and probably die off underground in the cold, no sunlight place and stuff. And how it'd be ideal for a non-pigmented person to be underground and stuff, like that. As you see fishes and all kind of stuff when you look down, and when they find them in caves and they ain't had no sunlight, and how that they done lost their pigmentation and so forth. Well, that's another history. But anyway, the Hittites lived in Babylon and took, Babylon over to. And Babylon is founded by the Amorites. That men Amorites founded Babylon. All right, look at that Hittite right there. So we know that they non-pigmented, and just by looking at they ancient statues, you know what I'm saying, you could tell, that they, some non-pigmented peoples and so forth. And then, man, if they non-pigmented peoples, and then they gonna be mostly mixed with the Japhet tribes. This gonna be, Cain descendants going over into the Japhet tribes and mixing with them and making them lose their pigmentation also too. That's how Japhet would lose his descendants would lose their pigmentation because they right there, man. Where the Cain descendants at, are all in these isles and so forth. And when they say Gentiles in the isles, is because there's gonna be the Cain descendants, the Nephilims and all them mixture of groups. That's where the word Semitic come from. Mix, semi, half and half of everything, and then how all those tribes will be infused with the Amorites and the Hittites, and Japhet descendants will be infused with them, and then that's how they will lose their pigmentation and be classified as Gentiles, because the Gentiles is going to be the Nephilim mixture too and so forth, the unclean folks, the peoples that never got a law from Almighty Yah, but that's what Hittites would look like, and so Cain, Edom would mix with Cain descendants, men the Hittites. They got plenty images, ancient images, men of the Hittites, and the Hittites gonna look different than the Israelites, but I can show in Tanakh history where the Hittites, are the founders, or one of the founders of Jerusalem, as well as the Amorite. So if the Hittite got a connection to Jerusalem, and then Edom go mate into the Hittite tribes, as I just shown, then that's gonna make Edom have a connection to Jerusalem, and then that's gonna be trying to defeat Almighty Yah's word when He gave the promised land to the Israelites and told us to get rid of the Canaanite tribes and so forth. And Edom had become infused with them, as Prophet Obadiah explained how Edom was part of the peoples that ran us Israelites out, the promised land. Edom ran us out, and that's like Edom is fused in with the Hittites. These are the Hittites right here. And the Hittites, man, they ain't gonna have no pigmentation either, because they gonna be mixed in with the Hittites too. The Amorites gonna be mixed in with the Hittites, and no, all them didn't have no pigmentation because they all mixed in with the Nephilims. The Nephilims gonna be the non-pigmented peoples. Those gonna be the felon angelic beings. Those gonna be the felon angelic beings, and how Almighty Yah probably took their pigmentation from them, and then as a punishment, for being evil and wicked, and then they went into the daughters of man. They got to be identified. They got to be identified, and their seed got to be identified. So that was smart for Almighty Yah to take, the felon angelic beings, pigmentation, the Nephilims, and because they went into Cain descendants. And then Cain descendants wouldn't have no pigmentation either. That's a way of keeping up with the Nephilim bloodline. And then that'd be why, the Amorite tribes will be pushing a mixture, want us to mix. Man, I'm talking about men and them mixed is real bad. And then it was prophesied that it was happen as punishment for us Israelites breaking covenant. Let me read that real quick. But those are the Amorites right there. And then Edom would be infused with them. But let me show you how the Amorites would be us mixing with the Amorites would be prophesied a long time ago. When we broke covenant, it was told how we'll get mixed with the peoples that was mixed with the Nephilims. You know, the Nephilims, Almighty Yah called them a beast. You know, that's what he called it, beast that had a heel, the snake that had a heel that was supposed to bruise Eve's children's head, you know, and then that's what happened to us when our head got bruised, you know, fooling with that Egyptian religion. But if you go to, let me see, I think it's 31:27. Let's see what 31:27 say. Look, this is Jeremiah 31:27. This was told to us after the covenant was broken and we was being driven out the land. Behold, the days come, said the Elohim, that I will saw the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. You see that? With the seed of man and with the seed of beast. Now let's see what Jeremiah 12:9 say. I got that for a reason. Jeremiah 12:9. Jeremiah 12:9. So yeah, so you know in the slavery days, if you get enslaved and then you know you up under somebody else's control, you know, that we gonna get mixed. And then us being the pigmented peoples that didn't have contact with the Nephilims and Cain descendants, and then when we get mixed, we gonna be like some speckled birds, just like our Almighty Yah say. Look, man heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all beasts of the field, come to devour. You know, so that's us, you know, that old speckled, man, like a speckled bird and stuff, man, from being mixed. And then we was told that that would be a punishment, a curse. You know, if you go to Deuteronomy 30:29, and then you read which verses is that? Let's see. If you go to Deuteronomy 28, the famous Deuteronomy 28, that our enemies hate to acknowledge that we fulfill these curses. Look, thy sons, that's Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and then I shall look and fail with them, and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thee in hand. Look, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her, and thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Meaning that you're going to be working, you know, your enemy going to come enslave you, going to take your women, as they been taking the Israelite women, man, since the first day on the slave ship. You know what I'm saying? They been putting her in the headlock, and then these Israelite women has been in the headlock by our enemies, man. Oh man, that's a whole nother video. But you know, you see how that come to pass. All right, you know, Edom got the Israelite heritage through his connection to the Hittites and Amorite tribes. You know, Edom heritage that went into the Hittites, and then the Hittites are the founders of Jerusalem. Check this out. Now this is how Edom slick got in, and then we know that Edom wasn't supposed to be in the Israelite heritage. I'm gonna go back, man, and read some of that. How did that grieve our mama, you know what I'm saying, and father, and then how our mother gave the blessings to Jacob, you know, told him to go in, man, and get the blessings and so forth, but because Edom messed off, man, and then went off into the Hittite tribe, something that our folks was against, and then him doing that, man, that messed up everything, and then that would make, and then plus Edom went into the Canaanite tribes. Look, and Esau seen that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac. Them say, all right. Then Edom went to Ishmael and took unto his wives which he had. You know what I'm saying? So me, he done got mixed in with the Ishmaelites. Look, all right. Let me show this real quick. How our mother saved the Israelite nation, and then I'm gonna show how Edom got in with the our heritage through his Hittite connection. Look, and Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. You see, look, so that done already, been understood, that we wasn't supposed to mate with the folks in the land. Man, arise and go to Padan Aram to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. And Yah Almighty bless thee and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thy blessings of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, and thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Yah gave unto Abraham. And Jacob sent away, and Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan. And you see, so he doing like, you know what I'm saying, his daddy told him, but we know Edom and already done took, you know what I'm saying, men, the Hittites and so forth, the people that we wasn't supposed to mix up with. Look, and when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan to take him a wife from thence, and that he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and went to such and such. Look, Edom not to take, you know what I'm saying, the Canaanite tribe. You know what I'm saying? But if you let me see what Genesis 36. So Edom was told not to, but if Edom go into them Canaanite tribes, he done already done did it. Let's see what 36 say. Genesis 36. I be having verses marked down for a reason. Look, see. Look, Esau and the Canaanite wives, after he was already told not to. Look, Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan. Look, his daughters are the daughters of Canaan. Adar, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Abla, the daughter of Anar, the daughter of Zebon the Havite. See, but right here, we know right here, look. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt not take up of a wife of the daughters of Canaan. You see what I'm saying? But your boy Edom did. You see, your boy Edom done already went into him. Look, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father had blessed him. And Esau said, see, in his heart, that the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. You see what I'm saying? So, the mama, gonna say Jacob. Tell him to get on down. But Edom went into them Canaanite tribes, them Hittite tribes, you know what I'm saying? As our father Isaac told him not to do. Because those tribes and peoples, culture, that steal your soul, that steal your spirit. That's like now us Israelites are in captivity to the Edomite, Amorite, Canaanite culture. Right now in America, the Babylonian scribes, who we originally abandoned our heritage to, the Sephardims, the Sephardims created the institutions over here in America. The whole Western civilization come from them and their creation. And then how did they set that up, and how we been imprisoned to it. And that's like how Israelites, man, it's hard for an Israelite man to wake up in this Canaanite, Amorite culture that steals the soul, and how you got Israelites lost and haven't made a connection to their Israelite heritage after being in this bondage for 400 years. I'm talking about they read the Bible daily and pick it up and haven't made their Israelite connection. But the Israelite Brotherhood is here, and we're gonna get it right. But we see how Edom went over into the Canaanite tribes after our father Isaac told him not to. So Edom is going to have a heritage to the promised land from the peoples that he made it with. That's like if you go to Genesis, Ezekiel, and then check this out. Now we already know that Edom mixed in with the Hittites, but because he grieved our mama, meaning our father. You know what I'm saying? Many grieved our parents. Let me read that again. And Esau, this is Genesis 26:34. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bishmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of man unto Isaac and to Rebekah. So yeah, man, they gonna be grieved. They gonna be real grieved about that, but because that's breaking, getting away from the promise that Almighty Yah made to Abraham. They see that going down the drain. All right, this is Edom's connection to the promised land. Man, all kind of ways from the Canaanite tribes, as you seen that he made it with the Canaanite tribes, and then from right here, check this out. Now we know that Edom just went into the Hittites. Look, all right, so if you go to Ezekiel 16, and the word of the Elohim came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, This the Elohim Yah unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. You see, that Hittite and then them being Canaanites, that's gonna make Edom part of their heritage. And then that's why come you see them Edomites in the promised land now. That's why you see them Edomites in the promised land now. And then they like one, and then that's where the Sephardim, you even have Judaized Edomites, the Sephardim, Edom been mixed in with the Jewish people from biblical days. You know what I'm saying? And then how they become one way back, man, before we Israelites were even in bondage in Egypt and became a Israelite nation exiting from Egypt. This is in 1400 BC when we exodus from Egypt. That Edom had already been mixed with the non-pigmented peoples and his descendants, where they had been lost their pigmentation. Even though we know that some of Edom's descendants would go over, meaning to the Hamites, and then you can see this in what's called, Eastern Africa, of the Horn, and then man, that's like, man, I was putting the video together when it explained that Egypt is my people, and that how Almighty Yah is mostly talking about the peoples from Lower Egypt. See, what divided Lower Egypt from Upper Egypt was the Nile, and that the peoples on the east side of the Nile, the Nubian state, were mostly infused with the had a little Edomite tribes mixed in with them. You know what I'm saying? I believe I can pull some of that up. Let me see, man, if I could pull some of that up. Images, images, images of upper Egyptians. All right, man, the images of the upper Egyptians. Man, the Nubian stock. Man, the Nubian stock. You know what I'm saying? That Nubian stock, man, gonna have that Edomite kind of like Nephilim, but because we know that the Nephilims would be in Ethiopia, you know what I'm saying, in the mountains in Ethiopia, and then how that they got there from Yemen and so forth. You know, we know that Yemen is teeming, and that's gonna be Eliphaz children. You know what I'm saying? I got videos explaining that, but these Egyptians right here, mean that they got that little Arab stock. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some Hamite mixed with some Edomites. Hamite mixed with some Edomites. And then, you know, them Hamite mixed with Edomites would, you know, be in Upper Egypt. And then we would, you know, control Lower Egypt. And them would be the ones that Almighty Yah said, "Well, the Egyptians, my peoples," is because we had mixed with the Egyptians from Lower Egypt that that was from the interior of Africa, Libya, and so forth. I walk on when they be saying, "Y'all got African DNA," and so forth. It's because we sojourned with them folks so long in Egypt and Lower Egypt, and then some of them Exodus with us, the mixed multitude Exodus with us. You know what I'm saying? I can show that real easy. The mixed multitude of Lower Egyptians left with us when the Upper Egyptians come on and then enslaved us because they didn't know Joseph in his works and so forth. But how that the ones from Lower Egypt would leave with us, and how that we would have a kindred to them because of the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh were mixed with Egyptian and so forth. But if you look right here, look, when we exited Egypt, and a mixed multitude went up also with them, flocks and herds, and very much cattle. So those are going to be the peoples from Lower Egypt. Lower Egypt is who we hung out with. Those are the ones that we broke the covenant with, and how that the upper Egyptians were confined to the east side of the Nile and so forth. I might can put a image on that image. Let's see, image. Images of Upper Egypt, man. All right, look, you see here how on the Nile, see, Upper Egypt mostly on this side, these and so forth, and Lower Egypt is what we control. See the Nubian state, the now. All right, Hebrews. Now let's get back into this here. You know, Edom got the Israelite heritage through his connection to the Hittites and the Amorite tribes, as I just shown that how that Edom's peoples would have Jerusalem, the Hittite and the Amorite. This Ezekiel 16, and this said to Elohim, the Yah of Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother a Hittite. So we know that Edom mixed in with the Hittites. We know Edom mixed in with the Hittites. And that when Edom mixed in with the Hittites, that would gave Edom a connection to the promised land. And then how Edom wasn't supposed to be on the promised land or connected to them when Almighty Yah gave Edom Sir. Mount Seir, and that was his heritage. But how Edom got a hold to our heritage by being connected, men, you know what I'm saying, to those other folks. See, and Esau was 40 years old when he took the wife Judith of Beeri the Hittite, and Bishma, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of man unto Isaac and to Rebekah. So, there's going to be a grief to them. And then let's go see what the prophet Obadiah say, because we know that Esau wasn't supposed to, be in our place. Look, Jacob's blessing. And his father said unto him, come near unto me and kiss me, son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled him. See, our mother saving the Israelite nation. I'm going to read that. And it come to pass, when Isaac was old and his eyes was dim, so that he could not see, and he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. And then now check this out. Our father Isaac is keeping with tradition. Man, he ain't breaking tradition. Now, his son Edom, the one that messed off with the Canaanites and the Hittites, having children by them, and they mixed in with them. And Almighty Yah gonna give us the decree to destroy those Canaanite tribes that Edom would probably be mixed in with them. Edom's seed had to be destroyed too, because Edom was mixed with them before we Exodus. You see, Edom was mixed with our enemies, man, before the Israelite nation even got the covenant. He was already mixed in good with the enemies, so that when we got the order to destroy the enemies, we destroying Edom too, who was our brother. You see what I'm saying? So, Edom brought that up on itself. But how our father Isaac was trying to keep with tradition by giving Edom the first blessing. And if he'd have gave him the first blessing, Edom would have 9 out of 10 had the we wouldn't be an Israelite nation today, because the covenant couldn't have never come about, because the blessings would have went to Edom. But how our mother Rebekah, the Hebrew women, be saving the Israelite nation. Man, I'm talking about the sister Esther. I made a video about how the sister Esther saved the Israelite nation. Man, we got a fruit Israelite women, you know what I'm saying, that done saved the Israelite nation. And our mother Rebekah is saving the Israelite nation when she sent our father Israel in there to get the blessing. And then that would give us the right to the land that Edom was tied up into anyway. Look, and it come to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes was dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau the eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, I am here. And he said, behold, now I am old, and I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me vision, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard what Isaac said to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for vision and to bring it. Now this is her firstborn. This is Rebekah's firstborn. They got the same, Jacob and Esau got the same mama and daddy. But the mama spiritual. This is a good woman. That's how the Hebrew women can be a good woman. She wasn't an Israelite, but she was a Hebrew woman. And then how that she was saving the Israelite nation, man, before we was even born. Look. And Rebekah said unto Jacob, her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me vision, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Elohim, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the
flock and fetch me from thence two good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and, and I am smooth skinned. You know what I'm saying? So, Esau, you know what I'm saying, all wild and stuff. So he probably done had some hair. He running around and stuff in the woods and all kind of stuff, mixing with them folks and stuff that, Edom probably had a little more hair than Jacob. All right. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. So our father Jacob was like, hold on, mama. Man, if I go in there and do that, and daddy realized it ain't me, man, I'm going to be eternally cursed forever. Knowing that he a prophet of Almighty Yah, and that his words gonna come true. Man, our father Jacob, man, he wasn't too big on that. You know what I'm saying? But being that our mother was wise, she's a wise woman, you know what I'm saying? And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought. You see, he obeying his mother and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat such as his father has. You see, he would have been disobeying his mother, and that would have been against Almighty Yah. So Jacob was obeying his mama by going doing what, his mama said, but because we know that's one of the law, obey your mother and your fathers. All right. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were in her house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which he had prepared, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he come unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? The daddy kind of, he wise. He might can't see, but he can hear and got good senses. You know what I'm saying? And he probably knew what was going on. Our mother Rebekah was saving us. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou biddest me. Arise, pray thee, sit and eat of my vision, that my soul may be blessed. You know what I'm saying? That you may bless my soul. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Elohim thy Yah brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee. See, he ain't dumb, He might can't see, but he's still smart, and his mind still thinking that I might feel thee, my son, whether thou beest my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he disconcerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother's Esau's hands. So he blessed him, and he said, Thou art thou my very son Esau? And, and he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's vision, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine and drink. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is the smell of the field which the Elohim had blessed. Therefore Yah give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesses thee. And it come to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother come in from his hunting. And he also had savory meat and brought it unto his father, went unto the father, that my father rise and eat of his son's visions, that my soul may, see, that soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son Esau, thy firstborn. Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, where is he that had taken vision and brought it me? And I have eaten all before him thou comest, and have blessed him. Yeah, and he shall be blessed. He kind of slick knew that was Jacob. He slick knew that was Jacob, and he probably knew that Rebecca, his wife, and then sent Jacob in. You ain't finna fool the prophet Isaac, but because Edom had went into those Canaanite tribes and those Hittite tribes, who Almighty Yah would eventually give the decree to destroy, that the prophet is all knowing. So he blessed Jacob, you know. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and loud, bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father. And he said, thy brother come in suitably, and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he had thou not reserved a blessing for me. Edom sold out. Edom didn't have no respect for the first for the right of the first rights of property from his father, when he sold his birthright for some partridge coming out the fields, kicking it with them Hittites. See, he was kicking it with them Hittites, and then been partying all night, and then come in hungry and stuff. That's what he did. He was kicking it. He was kicking it. Esau gonna be kicking it with them with them Hittites all night, and then he gonna come in hungry cause he ain't caught no food and he ain't did nothing, and his brother Jacob had some food, and then he sold his birthright. Now, and that's what Edom did. Alright, now let's go to Prophet Obadiah, because we know that Edom got in our heritage and wasn't supposed to be there, and how Almighty Yah was against the Edomites. Yes, against the Edomites. So Edom got back into the heritage through his marriages to the Canaanite tribes and to the Hittite tribe. That's how he got back in. But this was said, you know what I'm saying, about Edom. If you go to, let's find the prophet Obadiah, and then we're gonna read and see what he say. And I think Obadiah is around about 853 BC. All right. 853 BC. So we know that Edom then got into the Israelite heritage and got into the land because of his Hittite connection, and then him mating with them other folks. Look, the vision of Obadiah. This said the Elohim Yah concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Elohim. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. That's like now. He done made them small. The Edomites own all the corner stores, all the little corner stores, the little gas stations, and everything in our communities. And this was said too, so we know that them folks, everybody that occupy our community that is not us, is gonna be classified as an enemy, because that's a curse. Let's look and see what that curse got to say, dealing with them folks, even with the Edomites that then occupied our land and stuff, and how that they would, fit right into this curses, but because they part of the system too, and this will make them greatly devised, greatly, you know what I'm saying, dislike this, because that they got all this little wealth right in front of these Caucasians, and it's just a little small number of Edomites been there, but they own all the corner stores. Look, that the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. You know, so the strangers that come in among us and live among us is our enemies, and that's what Edom, you know, came in to live among us. All right, let's get back to what Prophet Obadiah said. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. That's gonna be Petra. You know, Muhammad was a Nabatean Petrian, and the Nabateans are Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Those are Edomites, and you know that would go to his Edomite heritage. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in thine heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, that's like now they done exalted themselves over here with the American system and with the eagle, the image of the American system, and they done exalted themselves with it too, the Edomites, and they being hooked up militarily by the eagle peoples, you know what I'm saying, and then gave them all type of protection and so forth over there, you know what I'm saying, in Arabia. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Elohim. If thieves come into thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Will they not have stole till they had enough? If the grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the borders. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. That's like America finna turn on them, because them Edomites is finna get on the Chinese monetary system and already trading oil and stuff with Russia for the Chinese backed currency that can be exchanged for gold, and how the Fed currency that the beast control, man, is coming to an end. You know, so man, it's finna be some war with them. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that are at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thee bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Sure enough, because them folks, the Edomites, and them traded all their oil wealth and got all their oil tied into the treasury bonds and stuff and treasury notes of the United States that has become worthless, that's not backed by no gold, and then how trillions of dollars worth, and then how they can't move bip bop or hop, and then how did the beast got them on lock, as well as the folks in Britain and stuff who set them up, the other beasts set their whole dynasty up, and then robbed them for all their oil and gave them paper and so forth. You know, they may get a little gold here and there, but mostly paper and stuff, and then paper money that they could buy gold and so forth. But how did they been robbed? Because that paper is finna be worthless now, coming up against this Chinese system that's backed by gold. Shall I not in that day, saith the Elohim, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And then that's going, destroying the wise men, supposed to be controlling their religion and so forth, and how that their religion is finna crumble, because it could be proven that Muhammad, when he was dealing with the Jews, that he wasn't dealing with no Israelites, and that when he made his assumption
off the Jews, the people of the book, that they were not Israelites, and that how a religion developed off that. You see, a religion developed off that. So that's finna crumble when people take knowledge and have knowledge of the real Israelites that's rising up right now. You know? All right. And the mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed. That's Yemen. Saudi Arabia is trying to rob Yemen right now. That's Yemen is Teman. That's Eliphaz's son. Let me see. And thy mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed to the end that everyone of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So that's what's happening then. That them folks in Yemen is starting to get in on them Edomite Saudi Arabians, and with the help men of Iran and so forth, and how all the little oppressed peoples always overcome the mighty oppressor. And that's what's happening in Saudi Arabia. How that them folks in Yemen might destroy them, men, before long. Man, they might get destroyed before long, the whole Saudi Arabia, because now they finna have the beasts against them, and then they got them other little nations of peoples who they kindred to, that they done aggravated trying to rob them, that's finna destroy them. So Prophet Obadiah is right on time with his prophecy. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side. Let me see. All right. And the mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. When them peoples realize that we the Israelites, and then how that they done played a part in stripping the Israelites of his heritage, and it's being exposed now, that yeah, man, it ain't gonna go good for them. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. See, he was as one of them. Guess why? Because Jerusalem, he gonna have a Hittite connection. He gonna have a Hittite connection. As I showed, let me show again that how Edom went into the Hittite tribes, and then the Hittite tribes are the founders of Jerusalem. So then it's gonna place Edom right there. You know, that's gonna place Edom right there. If you go back to Genesis 26, see, look. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bishmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. So that was a grief, meantime, mother and father. And here it is, Edom in Jerusalem. I already showed that how the Hittites had Jerusalem. If you go to Ezekiel, that'd be Ezekiel 16. Ezekiel 16. Alright. And this said the Elohim of hosts unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. So we know that Edom gonna be there with the Hittites as a sin. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that strangers carried away captives, his forces and foreigners entered into the gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he become a stranger. Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. See, Edom got in our heritage, been in our heritage. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Elohim is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Their reward shall return upon thine own head. All right, but and then they go on and tell you how we gonna destroy the Edomites and bring them under yoke. Let us get in the promised land like Almighty Yah prophecy, and then them folks gonna know that we the
real Israelites, they ain't gonna do nothing but submit. Alright, Hebrews, this is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. We see how Edom got into the Israelite heritage from his Amorite and Hittite connection, and that the Sephardims, are, are the Edomite Sephardims. Those are the Edomite Sephardims. They're Canaanites, all of them Canaanites. All of them Canaanites. Alright, Hebrews, this is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Pray everybody's doing well. Shalom and much love to the Israelite Brotherhood members and family.